day, everyone. This is Lionel, Rosie, and Sean. And today we'll be talking about effective teaching learning practices for the 21st century. Now, many of us grew up in classrooms where learning mostly meant sitting, listening, and memorizing. But modern education asks a different question. How can we make learning active, inclusive, and meaningful? That's what we'll explore today. I will walk you through 9 key teaching learning practices and, more importantly, show how they actually work in real classrooms. So, the first one is the active learning. Active learning is about engaging students beyond just listening. For example, instead of simply lecturing, a teacher might use think, pair, share. Here, every student first thinks about question, then pairs with a classmate to discuss, and finally share their ideas with the class. So this approach promotes critical thinking, collaboration, and deeper understanding. The next one is the differentiated instruction. Every class is diverse, right? So students learn in different ways, at different paces, and with different strengths. Differentiated instructions allow teachers to adjust the content, like what is taught, the process, how is taught, and the product, how students show learning. For instance, one group might learn a concept through visuals, while another engages with hands on activities. This goal is the same, but the paths to get there are varied. The third one is the inquiry based learning. Inquiry based learning flips the classroom into a space of exploration. Instead of giving direct answers, teachers encourage students to ask questions, investigate, and build their own understanding. Like think of activities like project-based learning or project solving class, where students collaborate to find solutions. So this just doesn't build knowledge, but it also builds curiosity and lifelong learning. The fourth one is the experiential learning. We've all heard the saying, experience is the best teacher. Experiential learning puts that into practice. It's learning by doing, and more importantly, reflecting experience. For example, students might conduct an experiment, join a community project, or role play real life situations, and then discuss what they've learned from it. Now let's proceed to the blended learning. With technology becoming central to education, blended learning combines face to face teaching with online platforms. Imagine students attending class discussions in person but also completing interactive lessons or quizzes online at their own pace. So, this flexibility helps address different learning needs while making use of digital tools. The next one is collaborative and cooperative learning. Both involve group work but with a difference. When we say cooperative learning, it is more structured and each member has a role and the group is accountable as a whole. Next one is collaborative learning. On the other hand, is more flexible and open-ended. It is where students share ideas and learn from one another. So both approaches help develop teamwork, communication, and problem-solving skills. The seven one next is the gamification or gamification. Who says learning can be fun? When we say gamification, it brings elements like points, badges, and challenges into the classroom. For example, a teacher might set up a leaderboard for math drills or award badges for completing reading milestones. These game like elements increase motivation and engagement while still focusing on learning goals. And also, one of the learning teaching practices is the formative and summative assessment. Assessment isn't just about grading. Formative assessments like quizzes, reflections, or class discussions happen during learning process to give feedback and guide improvement. While summative assessments like final projects or exams, measure learning at the end. Together, they help teachers track progress and students see their growth. And lastly is the culturally responsive teaching. Finally, culturally responsive teaching reminds us that classroom are diverse. It is diverse, right? Students bring their own background, languages, and experiences with them. As teachers, we need to respect and integrate this into our lessons. For instance, using examples from students' own cultures or encouraging them to share traditions helps create a more inclusive environment and bridges achievement gaps. So those are the um, teaching learning practices that we should use right now so that we can have an effective learning environment, right? So, to sum up, teaching today is no longer about memorizing and repeating facts. It is about engaging students actively, respecting their differences, and encouraging curiosity to prepare them for a fast changing world. These practices, from active learning to culturally responsive teaching, gives us tools to make learning meaningful and impactful. So thank you for listening, and I hope this presentation will give you insights that you can carry into your future classrooms learning. Thank you for watching and have a great day.